Okay, let's just double check I am live. The internet's a little bit slow. I am indeed live. Sweet. Hello, Decepticon King. Hello, straight in there. Welcome. Let me just sort out the. I'm a bit jerky, so give me a sec. Is that better? Seems to be a little bit out of sync. Is that better? Just gonna have to deal with it. I apologise. There might be a bit of a lip sync issue. Whoop, he's here. What kind of jerky are you? Yeah, I apologise. My lip sync might be a bit out. I don't know why. Let me see if I can just if I can sort anything out with the. I don't know. It might be because there we go. That seems a little bit better. But then, hello everybody. There's 3 people watching. If anybody wants to, mic's good today. Yes, it is. Thank you very much. I managed to fix it. But anyway, so that, like I said, there might be a slight delay with my lip sync. I don't know quite why. My mic is working, hopefully, still, and hopefully it will do it for the full duration of the live stream. So yeah, there's 3 people watching. So if anybody wants to jump in and say hello, please do so. And the lighting is good due to the sun. Yes, indeed, it's a lovely day out. It is 4 people watching. It is a lovely day. Yes, it's. I don't know what temperature it is, but it is a nice day. And maybe that's why the lip sync's a little bit out, is that there's a lot of light hitting the sensor, and it's yeah, the light is probably hitting the sensor or the lens, and it's causing it to go a little bit weird. Anyway, yeah, I keep jumping as well, which is weird. I can't really do anything about this, and I'm not going to mess around too much longer because I don't want to. Yeah, I'm jerking a bit as well. I don't know why. Anyway, so I'm going to leave that. So just deal with it as it comes over. It is live. These things do happen. Decepticon King, we love these streams, John. Fantastic stuff. Thank you. Well, anyway, so that's what 3.5 minutes in, and I've not said anything. So, as you can see by the title page, this stream is indeed themed this time around, and I'm going to be talking about some information regarding the future of the live-action Transformers films. So, I did a bit of research the other day, and I've got 5 links. Now, I don't know if I've got everything of relevance at the moment. I will probably do a little bit more research, and I could always do another follow-up stream talking about stuff that I missed on a later date. But I thought to keep things simple and straightforward, and there's 5 websites, 5 articles that I want to talk about and get your opinion on. After we've spoken about the new news, we can have a discussion about the Michael Bay films if you wish. Whether you like them, whether you hate them, whether you're in between. What bits of the films do you enjoy? What characters from the Bayverse films do you like? Things of that nature. So we will get into that stuff at the end of the stream. Before I finish. And if anybody wants to come in and ask me any questions, or anything regarding what I'm going to talk about. Now, unfortunately, with the way my streams are, I can't show you the articles in real time. I don't have any software that allows me to pop up anything live at the moment. So I'm going to just read out the articles, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the links to the articles in the description once I'm no longer live. Okay, so once I'm no longer live, all the necessary links will be in the description box of this video once it's no longer live, so you can then check it out in your own leisure. Okay, so the article number 1 is this. So some of these articles are indeed going back a little bit. Okay, they're going back to last year, early last year. Now I don't know if they're going to be in I don't know if they're going to be in order of release to the webs, but I'll try my best anyway. So then, this one is basically the start of all the rumors and speculation, really. So this one, actually, no, this one came out January 22nd of this year. I think, let me just double check. I don't know if I might have one. I don't know if I might have one that was meant to be last year. Let me just check for you. No, I've already got this one. So, right. So the first article is by Cybertron.com. And basically, it is talking about early speculation and things that are indeed confirmed for the future of the film. Basically, there's a Transformers film that is supposedly coming out next year in 2022. Okay, and this is kind of talking about that. There's some stuff that is, things that are indeed. So there's one thing that is confirmed, and then there's speculation in this article. So one of these things which is interesting to me is it says basically one bit of information that is confirmed is that a Mr. Patrick Tatopoulos, I think that's how you pronounce that. I apologize if I've fucked that up. But basically, production designer Patrick Tatopoulos, or whatever, is joining the Transformers 2022 film. Basically, if you don't know who he is, he worked on Justice League, the Snyder Cut. He worked on Maleficent and Mistress of Evil. And he has joined the crew working on Stephen Cappell Jr.'s Creed 2 director's new Transformers movie. So Patrick has been a frequent collaborator with Zack Snyder. The movie, tentatively due to release in 2022, is being developed from a script by Joby Harold / John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. That sounds awesome because that is a great film. The film will reboot the movie franchise. So this film that's coming out, or apparently coming out in 2022, is going to completely reboot the Transformers timeline going forward, which is awesome. So that is apparently confirmed according to this article. Now, going into the rumors side, let me just check if anyone's been talking in the box. Patrick Potato, yeah. So this is the rumors part of this, right? So it says new Transformers movies focusing on humans less, robots more. Now this is a rumor, and if this is true, and if the new timeline that is going to start off with the 2022 film that's apparently got a release date now, if that is true, that they're going to focus on humans less and robots more, then I am very, very happy, and a lot of fans, I think, will be very happy as well. I have no doubt about that. So the rest of the article as follows from there. It says, this and the following rumors come from the same source. Supposed Hollywood insider Daniel Richman and other places, other websites. And so this rumor basically says that Hasbro and Paramount have agreed that the movies should focus more on heroic Autobots / Maximals and villainous Decepticons / Predacons than the humans, if there is any humans at all. If true, this will please many of the critics of the Bear-led movies. Now, this source I don't agree with, because this is by this. We've got this covered. Now, I'm going to debunk this straight away. I'm going to this bit. I'm going to definitely debunk, even though I don't want to debunk it, because this sounds incredible for me because I'm such a fan of Beast Wars. But we've got this covered. Have a bad reputation for basically spreading bullshit, basically. So I'm going to read it anyways because it is part of the speculation and rumors. So apparently there will be a trilogy of Beast Wars movies. I'm just checking my mic level. So, right, there will be a trilogy of Beast Wars movies. Beast Wars will be on the scale of Avengers Endgame. This is what we've got this covered, is speculating. It says here as well, it should be noted that no Beast Wars movie is officially in production, though there is a script for it by James Vanderbilt. Okay, so that's the first article done. So that just basically just gives us some small information that was released back in January 22nd of 2021. And so basically that then just basically says that what is confirmed is Patrick, the production designer, Patrick Tatopoulos, has joined the Transformers 2022 movie. And obviously he's worked on Justice League, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and the script for that film has been penned by Joby Harold, that did John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. And obviously it's going to reboot the franchise. So that is apparently a confirmed part of this. But then obviously it goes on about focusing more on humans less and robots more, which that is apparently a rumor. But for me personally, I want to just say before I move on to the next article, is that I honestly think that this is a good idea. Obviously at the moment it is speculation. It is speculation, but they do need to move on. They do need to focus more on the robots, because with the Michael Bay films, love them or hate them, we'll get into that debate later. But basically, what I find interesting is that I understand you have to have humans in a Transformers movie. It's based on Earth. I understand that to a degree you do need some humans at some point in the film, but I feel that the Michael Bay films focused heavily on the human interaction. I apologize for that. There we go. So basically, the Michael Bay films focused heavily on mostly human interaction, human relationships, like Sam and Michaela, and then Sam with whoever else. You know what I mean? It was kind of more focused on human interaction than it was the Transformers. So really, it was kind of humans featuring Transformers. It was, you know what I mean? And I honestly do think they need to focus on the robots more. It makes perfect sense. They have the money, they can afford to do that. I think it's just lazy, shoddy writing what we've had before, where they heavily focused on a human relationship that has absolutely got nothing to do with the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons. It has absolutely got nothing to do with it. Right, so what's going on in the chat here? So, Decepticon Queen, I hope they do keep the focus around the actual robots instead of the lackluster human characters. And hopefully the sexual jokes from the Bayverse stays out. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of innuendo and a lot of racial like racial stereotypes as well that the Bayverse films have been kind of spoken about. What I'm talking about there is there was the racial stereotype with Skids and Mudflap when they're basically meant to be two black guys, basically, and they were literally just comic relief when they were so goddamn annoying. I hate Skids and Mudflap from the movies. I thought they were fucking shit. But anyway, Decepticon King. If they do Beast Wars stuff, I hope they use the original voice talent. I would really love to see Scott McNeil, Frank, and Gary Chalk at least reprise their main roles as, and obviously and David Kaye. I would love to see David Kaye, Gary Chalk, and Scott McNeil to reprise their roles. Yes, I would love to see the other voice actors come back, like Venus Terzo, etc. But I think if you was to at least keep Gary Chalk, Scott McNeil, and David Kaye as the because obviously Scott McNeil, he played Rat Trap, Silverbolt, Dinobots, and Waspinator. So that's 4 characters just for one actor. So it kind of makes it a little bit cheaper for production if you think about that. And then obviously Gary Chalk was only Primal, and then David Kaye was obviously Megatron. So if you tried to do that, at least give those three voice actors, give them the roles for those characters. That would be fantastic for me. Decepticon King, Patrick Potato, and some guy who did a thing. Yeah, Decepticon King. I am like a few people can only watch the first Bay film, but the others, in my opinion, are crap. I tried to watch Dark of the Moon, but just couldn't, as it was continuously dick jokes. Laserbeak looked awful. Yeah. Decepticon King again. Kate would definitely do it. He loves Beast Wars Megs. Yep. McNeil is brilliant. Yes, he is. Right then. So that's the first article. So let's move swiftly on then to the second article. Now, I need to find out because I've kind of done it a little bit wrong. I don't know what. Right, where are we? Have I done this one? No, I haven't. This is the next one. No, actually, no, I'm not going to do this one. This one is actually the new recent information. I'll do a different one. Give me a quick second. What's this one? Right, so this one was this one was last year. So this one was this article was published on 2nd of May 2020. So this bit of information first, but anyways, it doesn't really matter. So basically, this article is just entitled "The next Transformers movie has a release date." So it's basically just saying that the next Transformers film does indeed have a release date. So this is confirming. Basically, the one I spoke about that had speculation and confirmed stuff in there. It was stating that the next film was going to be released in 2022, next year. So basically, this is the article that is certainly confirming the release date. So it says here, The Transformers franchise has made an impressive mark on Hollywood in the past, collectively making $4.8 billion at the worldwide box office over more than a decade. But the past few installments have sized up to the gargantuan earnings. Transformers built its reputation on the franchise is now Anyway, the franchise is now officially set to make its return. Paramount and Hasbro have just scheduled another live-action Transformers movie, which will hit theaters on June 24th, 2022. So the next Transformers live-action film is going to release in June. Obviously, it's a summer blockbuster, right in June, right at peak summer. So June 24th, 2022 is the release date for the new Transformers film coming out next year. Well, is anything else said? Back in January, it was announced that the studio had 2 live-action Transformers scripts in the works simultaneously. Writer of Zodiac, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Netflix hit murder mystery James Vanderbilt is working on the Transformers spin-off for Beast Wars. Which centers on robots who transform into robotic animals, obviously. The other script, which is set in the Bumblebee universe, will be penned by Army of the Dead Joby Harold, although Paramount has officially set a summer 2022 Transformers date. It is unclear as to which of the scripts the date is for, except at the moment. So either way, it doesn't look like there's like John Cena showed interest in returning for Bumblebee 2. The film scored a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is good actually. However, the 2018 Travis Knight film hit a commercial low. It actually did make money. It actually did make it actually did do fairly well domestically. Compared to the other Transformers films that obviously Michael Bay did, it didn't rake in as much money, but it did make profit. There's a little bit of a miss thingy with the facts for Bumblebee. Bumblebee was a financial success. Yes, it didn't take as much as the Michael Bay films did, but it did make money. It made profit, and it did really well domestically as well. So that adds to it. So this article then it confirms the release date for the next film, which is going to be in 2022, and it also confirms that there are indeed 2 scripts in the works. One that is apparently going to be set in the Bumblebee universe, and then the other one is going to be is actually going to be a Beast Wars film. But nobody seems to really know which film is which for that release date. Is it going to be the sequel to Bumblebee, or is it going to be the Beast Wars film? Now, I've heard a lot of rumors about the Beast Wars film, and I'm a little bit unsure about the Beast Wars live action. I would absolutely love to see a Beast Wars live action film. Well, no, it won't be live action. It'd be an animated movie because, let's face it, with Beast Wars, there's no humans. Or there shouldn't be any fucking humans, by the way. I'm just going to make that clear. There shouldn't be any humans. But what's interesting to me is that if they're indeed working on a Beast Wars script, and there is definitely going to be a Beast Wars theatrical movie, then I am all for it. But I don't want them to mess it up. I want the animals to look like animals. I don't want them to look like Cybertronian hybrids. Like they look like a cheetah or they look like a gorilla, but they look Cybertronian. I don't want that. I want them to look Don't get me wrong. There you don't see it in Beast Wars the animated series. Basically, in Beast Wars the series, you don't see. Well, you kind of get an essence that they're in a proto form. The whole proto form thing is in Transformers all over the place. There's a proto form. Now, when basically, if how I see it is, if the Beast Wars movie does indeed happen and it is a definite thing, how I think it should open is obviously it's both the Maximals and the Predacons fighting in space, and they crash land on prehistoric Earth, or ancient Earth when it's literally where no modern civilization is about. It's literally just wild land, basically. So basically, when they crash land on Earth, it is like before the Autobots and Decepticons awaken from stasis. That's how it should be. That should be formulated in the script straight away. Also, I really hope that I don't mind seeing them in a proto form. I don't mind seeing them in a form in like they're like a Cybertronic form before they scan an alt mode. I don't mind seeing that, but I don't want them to kind of be a weird hybrid looking animal. Because I've seen concept art online which shows which is kind of like Cheetor, but he looks like a Cybertronian cat. And don't get me wrong, I love Ravage and I love all those cassette bots and everything, but it wouldn't be Beast Wars if you had it all like a Cybertronian animal like hybrid. I don't want that. Right, what are we doing in the chat? Decepticon King, Cena loves money, cause he would. Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't have a massive problem with John Cena. I like him. He's actually quite good. I liked him in Bumblebee, but yeah, basically there needs to be a sequel to Bumblebee 2, and I've got a feeling that the other script that is supposedly going to be within the Bumblebee universe, I don't know if that's going to be out next year, but I have a feeling it will be. I think the Beast Wars film will be a bit longer for production, because the Beast Wars film's going to be mostly a good 98% fully CGI. Okay, it's going to be about good 90 odd percent fully CGI with no humans. So it's going to take a lot longer to make that film happen. Bumblebee, for instance, is a lot more easier and a lot more quicker for production, because if they keep to what Travis Knight did, where they keep it minimalistic, where they kind of only have so many Decepticons and so many Autobots on both sides. Of course, you've got Optimus back, and the rest of the Autobots have come to Earth. At the end of Bumblebee, you see the rest of the Autobots coming to Earth, and obviously Bumblebee meets up with Optimus. So that then kind of gives you an idea that the next film, it will be heavily centered on Earth only. I've no idea about the Decepticons, but we didn't see a Megatron, so it's kind of like, is Megatron actually already on Earth? We don't know, but I'm actually quite intrigued by that. Decepticon King, Bumblebee film was so good. Yes, it was. Excuse me. Bless me. Anyway. Hey, Mr. Jamjar. Hello. Hey up, Nosy. How you doing, Mr. Jamjar? Decepticon King. The main girl wasn't annoying either. Yeah, that's true. Haley Steinfeld, that played Charlie. I think it was Charlie. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, thing is though, she's a very good actress. The last that played Charlie in Bumblebee, she's a very good actress. And I actually thought she was really good in the role, and she worked really well. Zedcon Queen, hope there's going to be a sequel to Bumblebee. It was such a good film for so many reasons. Yes, it was. Mr. Jamjar, Decepticon King again. Cheeto had an old design plan somewhere. All right, okay. Mr. Jamjar, Hasbro are really pushing the Beast era with Kingdom and the reissues. Well, the thing is, I can honestly see Beast Wars could definitely indeed be the next film out, because the Beast Wars thing has exploded back onto the scene, and it would make perfect sense to continue it for toy sales and everything. Setsukan King, I welcome all this Beast Wars push. Yes, I love Beast Wars. I don't have anything negative to say about more Beast Wars. I want more Beast Wars. Setsukan King, the new comic too. Yeah, I definitely want to check out that. Setsukan King again. No humans. Yes, hell yes. More big robots. Yes. B127. Big yes for my Beast Wars love. Yes. Right then. So that's the second article done and dusted. So let's move swiftly on then with the third one. Let me just check which ones have I already done. I think I've done that one. What's this one? Right then, so this next one, I don't know if have I done this? No, I haven't done this one yet. Right, so this one was on the 6th of, for crying out loud, give me a second. I apologize for that. I'm really, every time I do a video or a live stream, the freaking phone goes. Anyway, so then, right then, so here we go. So it says here, Paramount Pictures is ready to ignite the hugely popular Transformers actor Stephen Cappell Jr. was recently tapped to helm the project. Aficionados with excitement. Transformers Beast Alliance. So he's working on the Beast Wars film then, by the looks of that. Oops. Sources have revealed that Transformers Beast Alliance will take place in the Bumblebee timeline. Oh, sweet. And will be set in the 1990s. That makes perfect sense because the first one was in 87, I think. 86, 87. So it's going to be like a heist film that will span from Brooklyn to South America. The studio reportedly looking to cast an African American to be in his early to mid-20s. The movie will also feature a female co-lead, slightly older, with the actress. They are looking for able pass for a native New Yorker. Okay. Currently, there is no confirmation of which Transformers will appear in the movie, but the working title strongly suggests that the 90s series Beast Wars, obviously with it being the 90s, Beast Wars released in 95. So it would actually make sense that obviously it's based in the 90s, Beast Wars was released in the 90s, but I'm not a big fan of it unless it is kind of going to. Right, okay, so it's just going into what Beast Wars was basically. So yeah, so it says, so it has fallen to Creed 2 director Stephen Cappell. Last year, the studio commissioned for 2 separate scripts for the live-action Transformers out to be developed by Scream. Obviously, I've already gone through all that, so I'm not going to continue that. And truly staying in the Autobot business, with Cappell Jr. is just one of several projects currently in development. Wow! So we've got 7 Transformers-based projects in development through Paramount and Hasbro Studios. That's interesting. And with the director of Toy Story 4, Josh Cooley. Now, I've not seen any more development on that, so I'm going to have to. that is going to be directed by Josh Cooley that did Toy Story 4. Will be separate and apart from the live action movies that have graced the big screen thus far. Transformers Beast Wars Alliance is looking to begin shooting in late spring or early summer, which I don't know if that's happening yet, because if that is true, if this film is going to be the one that's releasing in 2022, a little early yet, but there is a couple more articles that I'm going to cover, so we might find more information out. So then, that one's an interesting one, isn't it? So with that article, we got the working title and timeline. It's going to be called Transformers Beast Alliance, and it's going to be set in the 90s, and it's looking like it's going to be heavily influencing the Beast Wars animated series. Where are we in the chat? I think that Sedgecon King, it must be really nice to have all this Beast Wars stuff and take you back to your childhood. I completely agree there. I mean, it's a big nostalgia trip for me because I love Beast Wars. I grew up with Beast Wars. It was my first foot in the door, as it were, into the Transformers timeline. And it is connected to the G1 continuity as well. But obviously, Beast Wars is essentially a prequel story before the main G1 story. So it's interesting. And also you've got the Unicron element in there as well, which kind of connects up the whole thing. Right, so that was that one. Next article then, I think. Let's have a look. Which ones have I already done? So that's 3 I've done. So I think I've done those ones. What's this one? Have I already done this one? Yes, I've done that one. Where are we? What's this one? Have we done this one? Yes, I've done that one. Bear with me a second. It's a bit confusing for me. I don't know which one I haven't. It's a bit confusing. I know I've done at least 3 articles by now. What's this one? I've done that one just now. Annoying dog, stop barking. I apologise for that. There's a dog barking outside and it's annoying. I apologise for this. I don't know why, but I can't find... I'm sure there's another one that I've not gone over yet. For crying out loud, I'm going around in circles here. Right, okay. I'm not going to go on this one. This is the other article that I was talking about, but this is just it's a different website with exactly the same article that I've already covered. This one was posted on the 1st of May, and it's basically just saying Paramount dates new Transformers movie for 2022. So it's basically what I've covered. So I'm not going to even bother looking at that one. I'm just going to go straight to the new one, because there was a new article that was released 3 or 4 days ago. So I'm going to go through that one. I think it's this one, yeah, 4 days ago. So this is the brand new bit of information. Now this is basically saying that there is a new Transformers movie in development separate from the main franchise. So here we go then. So the articles we've already covered. I've obviously just been talking about the 2 films that are currently in development, one that apparently due out for release next year. So this was released as of 4 days ago, and it says the title is New Transformers Movie in Development Separate from the Main Franchise. And then it goes on to say Paramount is developing a new Transformers movie that will take place separately from the main franchise, long helmed by director Michael Bay. Paramount is developing a new Transformers movie. That did it right. The first live-action Transformers movie came out in 2007. Obviously, the film went on to become a very successful film, making over $700 million at the box office. Since then, the Transformers franchise has gone to become a global phenomenon. Let me move on to the next bit of info. What the hell's... Shut up. Right, okay, so this bit of information. So this new separate to the main timeline movie, Transformers film that has now been announced, is going to be written by Marvel's The Defenders showrunner, Marco Ramirez. He's going to be writing the film. Manuel Soto of Charm City Kings will be directing it. And yeah, right. So Paramount will invest in the brand heavily over the years, and that is that. So that was a bit of a crappy article, actually. That was there's information I scroll, but that was basically just going into tidbits, I think. Yeah, so this is just going over what I've just said, but I'm going to say it properly because it's all written here. So this new film will take place separate from the established Michael Bay series. Marco Ramirez, the showrunner of Netflix Marvel show The Defenders, will write the script. Manuel Soto of Charm City Kings will direct. As of now, little is known about the plot of this film. Paramount is also still making a 7th Transformers movie that will be directed by Creed 2's Stephen Cappell Jr. So I've already said about that. With 2 Transformers movies now in development, this signifies that Paramount is still committed to the brand. In today's Hollywood, franchises are recognized. IP is everything. Right. Hiring Ramirez, Soto, and Cappell also shows Paramount is beginning to work on diverse voices behind the camera. Got nothing wrong with that at all. And that's that. That's the article for that one. So that's all the articles then. That's everything done. So that's interesting. That the amount of information that I've just come up with on those 4 articles. Well, I had a 5th one, but that other 5th one was actually the same as what I've already done. So that's interesting. So we've got a June 2022 release date for a Transformers movie that is obviously based within the Bumblebee timeline. We've also got another Transformers prequel animated movie that is coming out by Josh Cooley, the director of Toy Story 4. We now have a new one that is apparently separate from the main timeline that not much detail at this time has been released. So we have 3 Transformers movies that are currently in development, and also it did say that apparently there is 7 separate projects, Transformers-based projects, in early development. Let that sink in for a moment, yeah? That is pretty cool. Now, one thing I want to hit upon, okay? One thing I just want to hit upon. I'm a little bit concerned about this Beast Alliance film that is apparently going to be in the Bumblebee timeline. We've no idea whether Beast Alliance will be. We've no idea if Beast Alliance will be a sequel or serve as a sequel to Bumblebee. We just know it shares the same universe. It could be its own separate film. No actual robot characters for the, good or bad sides have been announced yet, but I'm a little bit concerned about that. I understand that this film, that the film coming out in 2022 is apparently going to be focusing on the 90s era, so it's going to be based in the 90s. Beast Wars came out in the 90s. The film's going to be called Transformers Beast Alliance, which finally kind of confirms to you this is going to be a Beast Wars centered film, which means it's going to have humans in it, and it's going to have a human boy and a human girl. And a boy, it's basically a boy and a girl as the title main characters. It feels like we're going back to a Michael Bay 2007 film, but we're going to have animals instead. Please don't have it based in a zoo. I can honestly see these 2 kids, this boy and this girl, working in a fucking zoo, and then going on some sort of heist and ending up from Brooklyn to somewhere else. It doesn't add up to me. That doesn't add up to me. What does anyone else think in the chat? Anyone watching in the chat? What do you think about that? Do you think it's a good idea? Obviously, it's still early days. The development's early stages. More information will be coming, and the more information that is released, I will be bringing you more information as it's all released. But I'm a little bit concerned about that Beast Alliance film. I would have just preferred it if they'd just done a sequel to Bumblebee. I just want a Bumblebee sequel. But the fact that it's called Beast Alliance and it's coming out June 2022, and then obviously we've got an animated prequel film coming out as well, which I've no idea when that's coming out. There's been barely any information for a while on that. And then obviously we've now got a separate film coming out, separate to. We've now got a separate movie coming out that is separate to the main timeline that is now being penned by those 2 that I've just mentioned about. Bill Libston, is it Sam or Tony ringing you on purpose? Probably is. It's probably my dad's brother. It's probably my dad's brother ringing my dad, so yeah, it is a little bit annoying. I apologise for that, by the way. Bloody phone ringing twice during the stream. Love Beast Wars, but it's not ringing my bell. Not ringing my bell. Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned about that film. I mean, end of the day, it's still too early to really say anything. It might just be a placeholder name, calling it Beast War, Beast Alliance. It might just be a placeholder name. But with that now, apparently, is the official title for that film. I'm a little bit annoyed. I'm a little bit concerned because I love Beast Wars so much. I don't want to have a Michael Bay second time around kind of esque film and just fuck up the Beast Wars timeline for us. I don't want that. Beast Wars does not make any sense being in the 90s. Yes, it was released in the 90s. What I mean is it doesn't make sense to have the film based in the 90s if it's Beast Wars centric. All right, it needs to be prehistoric Wild Earth, before, millions of years before the Autobots and Decepticons come out of stasis. It needs to have that formula still there for the movie because it's a prequel to the G1 continuity. It has to sit before the Autobots and Decepticons ever come out of stasis. It has to be like that. It has to be. You can't, there's no ifs or buts about it. It has to be set at that point. It has to be set that moment in time. It has to be set like at least a million years before the Autobots and Decepticons come out of stasis. It has to be. And the point of them having animal forms, you've got a Velociraptor and you've got a T-Rex, Megatron and Dinobot. Yes, those alt modes were scanned from fossilized remains, so obviously, so it's kind of like, it has to be centered at a point of time, where they can scan these alt forms. I'm a little bit concerned about that film, to be honest. That's kind of put a bit of a buzzkill for me. But end of the day, it is still too early to really say too much about that. Anyway, so Jace, Wendy, are you still watching? Is anyone else still watching in the chat as well as Bill? Anyone else want to come in on any thoughts on this in the chat now that I've covered everything? Bill, it will be a smarter idea to animate and add the additional scene to the 86 movie and resell that all over again, like Star Wars did to the original trilogy back in the 90s. Yeah, that's very true. We are still here. Okay, good. But yeah, so what do you think, Jace and Wendy? What do you think about the information I've just read about? What are your thoughts on this Beast Alliance film? What are your thoughts on, obviously, we're going to get a new Transformers live action film, hopefully next year. What are your thoughts on all of it? Let me know. So what I'm going to do next, we're coming up to an hour of the live stream. The next part of it, I'm going to talk about... Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, salad fingers. Oh, that is fantastic. Hello, I'm here to inquire about your spoons. Oh, that is amazing. Bill, any more news on the extended universe bringing Mask, Visionaries, and G.I. Joe into the same universe? I haven't seen any. Let me just have a quick look here if there's anything. That's actually... Yeah, I'm not going to go by that article because it's by what we got this covered. We got this covered are shite, basically. There is a little bit of speculation. It says here, apparently the new rumor says Mask will appear alongside G.I. Joe, but there isn't that much information. A lot of it was released back of last year, and it's still kind of rumored. I love the fact that I've got salad fingers in the chat. That's actually quite fun. The feeling of rust on my salad fingers is orgasmic. is Herbert Cumperdale in the chat? Oh, I fucking love it. That's brilliant. Decepticon King. I look forward to, but I'm a stickler for original voices in shows. If it's different, I don't really like it. Okay. No, I understand that. Decepticon Queen. I'd love to see either an extended version of the 86 movie or even remake it to the original Ron Friedman scripts, which showed different takes on the deaths of Megatron and Prime. Okay. Decepticon King. Wonder if they will do Headmaster's Masterpiece and Victory for films. I mean Master Force, yeah. I don't know what you mean. I don't know. I mean, end of the day, the Headmasters, Master Force, and Victory were Japanese series. They were produced in Japan. So if those films did get greenlit, it would have to be somehow in partnership with Japan and Hasbro and Paramount. So I have no idea. But that would be pretty cool. But yeah, so anyway, let's move on to the next part of the chat then, or of the stream. So let's just go all out there. So let's talk about the Michael Bay films, or all of the Transformers films that we've had so far, the live action films. So I'm going to start off with the 07 movie. I'm going to talk about my thoughts on each of the films, and if you wish to add your own thoughts, by all means do so in the chat. So, Michael Bay, 2007. So this... One thing about the Michael Bay film from 2007 is I do love that film. I do really enjoy it. There's some points of it I cannot stand, but I'll make that perfectly clear in a moment. So, the 07 movie, one thing that I do find interesting, or what I do love about this, is that the 07 film by Michael Bay was one of the influences that got me back into Transformers, that got me back into collecting toys. Obviously, of 2007, Transformers Animated aired as well on Cartoon Network. So I was watching Transformers Animated when it was airing in 2007. And that kind of piqued my interest. And then obviously I started watching, and obviously I saw this information coming out about a live action Transformers movie, and I got really excited for it. So me and my mate Sam, 000 Firestorm, we both went to go to the cinema to see it. We were really excited. We were like, oh, fantastic. When the first showing, I think I must have gone, I think I went about 3 or 4 times to see the first Transformers film. And basically, I had to go and see it a second time because I was just in awe of it. The first time I went to see it, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. How they've managed to make these Autobots and Decepticon characters look so good and managed to do the whole Pandora box effect. Pandora effect of the mass, transforming basically. How they was able to figure that out was just amazing. And I was just absolutely blown away by the first film. And the main issues I don't like about the first 07 film for me is I don't like the whole human interaction parts. I hate Sam's parents. I've got nothing against the actors at all, because obviously they're just playing a part and they're being directed by Michael Bay. They are, the whole idea of them, that is Sam's parents they are just comic relief. But I find it very cringing and a little bit off-putting at times when his mom and his dad are his mom and his dad really annoy me, and the whole thing with Mojo the dog. Don't get me wrong, I do like the scene where Mojo pees on Ironhide. He's just like, "We have a rodent infestation. Shall I terminate?" And he's just kind of like, "Bad Mojo." Yeah, I do like that scene. That's actually quite funny. But most of the scenes with Sam's parents, I hate, and obviously the whole sexy girl, boy must get girl, all these really cinematic shots of the silhouette of that of Megan Fox or Michaela. It was a little bit off putting because end of the day, you know, but for what it's worth, it was perfectly balanced. You had a perfect balance. Sorry. Basically, what I like about the '07 film is that it is perfectly balanced. You know, there's the perfect amount of Autobots and Decepticons. So there's great balance there. Um, and I just really like the fight scenes. I think I just think it's just a much better film compared to what we got later. So moving on for my thoughts is with now Revenge of the Fallen. Now, when I started out making videos on YouTube, I did some videos following the production of Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. Now, most of the information that I found at the time, I found really quite intriguing, and I was quite excited about the Autobots and Decepticon characters that they were going to be adding to the film. And I was actually really intrigued. I thought this looks pretty cool. Like this, and then obviously the trailers they released, I was really looking forward to it. But I was really quite upset and a bit annoyed, and most people were the same. I was pissed off with the end result of the Revenge of the Fallen. Now, I wouldn't say the failure of Revenge of the Fallen is entirely Michael Bay's fault. Yes, he was the director, but you must be aware that when that film was in production, there was a writer's strike. And the writer's strike caused a massive issue during production of Revenge of the Fallen and also most of Dark of the Moon. And it set back the script and it set back production by at least a couple of months because the writers wasn't allowed to write. There was on strike. So basically, when they came back from strike and come back to work, they then had to basically cram together the rest of the story. Apparently, they only had so much of the script written, and then the rest of the film was not written. So that when the writers came back, they had to then formulate how we're going to end this film, and they basically did a cram session, and they basically just crammed out a script to finish it all off. And that's why Revenge of the Fallen is so shit. The beginning part of Revenge of the Fallen for me is good. I really enjoy the opening sequence and up to the forest battle where Optimus dies fighting Megatron and Grindout. Those up to that point. So from the film starting to the film point of where they're in the forest battle with Optimus, Megatron, and Grindout. Those parts of the film for me, I really enjoy. But from that point on, when you get the Egypt pyramid scenes and the whole Devastator scene, I hate it because you can tell dramatically the change of tempo in that film from the beginning to the halfway point and to when it starts up again for the desert scene, for the Egypt scenes. My God, can you tell the difference? My God, you can. It feels like they just put 2 or 3 different films and just edited them together. It just terrible. Right, so what's in the chat? Bill. Michael Bay's quirky humour. We owe a lot to Michael Bay. He is the reason why we have jazz reappearing on toy shells and cartoons. That is very true. Decepticon Queen, Revenge of the Fallen made me angry. I'd waited for it. It was I was so excited to go and see it, and was disappointed by it. The worst thing for me was Wheelie and having him hump Her leg, yeah, that was a bit. I don't see the point of that. I really didn't see the point of that. Bill again made the mistake of watching the '07 movie with Michael Bay commentary, and that highlighted a lot of tricks he uses, which he then repeated in the later movies, and it kind of ruined it for me. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Revenge of the Fallen. It started that film. Revenge of the Fallen starts off really well. Um, it starts off pretty good. There's a lot of awesome stuff in the first scene, the first couple of scenes. But once you get to the halfway point and get past the forest battle, my God, is it terrible? Oh my God, is it terrible? But I agree with what Bill says there. But about we do a lot. We do a lot we do have to hold some sort of appreciation to Michael Bay in some shape or form. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the Transformers live action films, but I like them, but I don't know how to answer that. I do like them, but it's kind of like so many wasted opportunities, and he really did fuck them up in the end. Even though, like I just said about the writers' strike with the Revenge of the Fallen, that didn't really help things. But still, my God, they really produced a bad film. But yeah, I agree. We do owe some sort of respect to Michael Bay. He brought back a dying brand. The Transformers brand was dying. It was ending. There was no new cartoons except for the animated series that came out in the same year of 2007. That kind of piqued a lot of people's interest and brought a lot of new kids and brought toys back out. And we all we had for quite a long time was just comic books. There was a big lull from the Unicron trilogy to '07. There was a big lull where there wasn't really anything of interest. And the toy line, basically Transformers was ending. It was just going to end because there was just nothing there. So basically, the Michael Bay '07 film, or all of the movie franchise by Michael Bay and also Bumblebee, it has indeed, and I will agree, it has rejuvenated the brand, and it's made it even more popular than it ever was before. And we have to owe that to Michael Bay in some respects, and to Steven Spielberg, and to Paramount, and to Hasbro. We have to kind of respect them for doing what they've done, and we still have a brand, Transformers brand, that we can still enjoy, and it's all thanks to their hard work and dedication. But you've got to understand there is some glaring issues with those films, and end of the day, even though I do enjoy watching them, because there are some good there is some good parts and good elements that I do enjoy from the Michael Bay films, but there is some glaring things in there that I just do not like what Michael Bay does in a lot of his films, and it really does annoy me. But anyway, so let's go to the chat again. Where are we with the chats? Decepticon Queen. I'll admit, I thought the kitchen bot scene were quirky and funny, though. Yeah. Bill, the 2007 music score was pretty good. The Autobot arrival and the Scorponok was amazing. But then he just uses sinister strings on the rest of the movies. And 13 years on, it's got very boring. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. So let's move on then. So Dark of the Moon. Oh, yes. Don't get me wrong, Dark of the Moon again for me does have some really awesome parts to it. It does have some really great parts to it, some great action scenes, really well done action shots. But oh my God, I really hate the human parts to that film. I cannot stand the human parts to Dark of the Moon. the whole thing with Sam, and now he's got a new girlfriend, and it's kind of like they moved in together. His parents are on holiday, and they've got this big RV thing. He got Sam got a Medal of Honor or medal from award from Obama, the president, and it's kind of like all that human part of it just overtook the film, and how they handled Shockwave, in that film. I cannot understand how they did that. I really can't stand Shockwave in Dark on the Moon. He looks good, but he isn't Shockwave for me. I will explain why. He doesn't speak, and when he does speak, he can barely understand what he's saying. And he has this big weird tentacle thing. I understand apparently that tentacle thing, I think it's kind of a reference to a comic book story or something from the comics. But I really don't like the whole idea of that big mechanical thing that was destroying the buildings that Shockwave had. I don't like it. I would have much preferred if it was just Shockwave on his own. Nothing else, just Shockwave on his own. He would have been a great villain. He'd have been a great boss, but obviously he wasn't a villain, was he? He was a villain, but what I mean is he wasn't the main villain. The way they advertised Dark of the Moon, they made Shockwave out to be the main big bad. And we all know that the main big bad wasn't Shockwave, it was Sentinel Prime. Now, I thought Sentinel Prime was quite well handled, but obviously you had the legendary Leonard Nimoy voicing that role as well, which was great. But it was kind of like, I love the action scenes, a lot of the action scenes in Dark of the Moon, and all of them. I love the action scenes in all the films. They're really well done, and the car chases, because obviously Michael Bay is fantastic at car chase scenes. But I really cannot stand a lot of the human interaction with Sam and his girlfriend and his parents in all of in Dark of the Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, and 07. So yeah. So right, where are we again with the chat? Con King. They really shat the bed. Shockwave is a friggin' 40-foot space gun. Yeah, pretty much. Bill. The wreckers and lazy filming. Yeah. Sit those stock cars over there. Just fire lots of rockets and they don't transform. Apparently, the SEAL team skydiving scene was amazing in 3D cinema. That was a really good scene. Yeah, I do like that scene where they do that jump, and it's all in slow motion. You see all the other aircraft being blown up that are around them, and then they're coming down, and then they kind of like, you kind of see, yeah. I really, that is a good scene. I will agree with that. That is a good scene. So that's King. Quintessa as a character in one of the films is a fucking insult, personal. Yeah, I will get to that. That's obviously The Last Night, isn't it? Yeah, so let's move on then to Age of Extinction, the next one. Now, Age of Extinction, I thought I actually had a little bit of thingy for this one because they got Mark Wahlberg to play. They got Mark Wahlberg to play the main character, and to be honest with you, I thought, well, Mark Wahlberg compared to Shia LaBeouf that played, that played Sam. He leads up on him, I think. Mark Wahlberg's a good actor. He's a very good action movie star. And I thought, maybe... And obviously they've got... oh, no. Yeah. They've got Kelsey Grammer as well. They've got Kelsey Grammer, who played one of the bad human characters. And they also had Lockdown. And Lockdown, for me, was... With Age of Extinction, Lockdown was the best part of that film for me. I thought he was like he was a proper standout villain He didn't work for the Decepticons. He didn't work for the Autobots. He was proper lockdown. He was a proper bounty hunter that got locked down right, and I was very, very happy with that. I thought Lockdown was incredible. He was the way he killed Ratchet, and the way that he killed that human guy, that the friend of Cade's, which is Mark Wahlberg's character. That was a really dark scene, and a lot of this, I loved the scenes that featured Lockdown, and I just absolutely love Lockdown and Age of Extinction. But the one thing I hate about Age of Extinction is, it is Age of Extinction. Yes, it is the whole stupid mass molecular transformation scenes. I understand what KSI drones, and they were kind of like built by KSI and everything, and they kind of like wanted to reimagine the transformation sequencing and everything for them. But I really don't like how Galvatron transformed and Stinger and all those characters. I really can't stand how they transformed. I don't like the whole weird molecular freaking shape-shifting thing. That, I was like, oh my god. They got Lockdown right, but they fucked up everything else again. I love the action scenes again. For me, I like Age of Extinction mostly for Lockdown. I just think they got Lockdown really well done. He was a really good bad guy. He was a really good villain. And he was Lockdown. He felt like Lockdown. Where are we? It's just the Decepticon King. Yeah, I don't like Bay personally, and I'm glad I never saw the TMNT he did, as I adore the original Turtles. To be honest with you, Jace, I've got both of those films, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and also Into the Shadows or something. What was the sequel one? I've got them. I didn't pay very much for them either. I got them really cheap, but I actually don't mind them. Yes, it felt a little bit samey because obviously they got the lass who played Michaela back. They got her back to play April O'Neil, but and the way that the turtles looked as well, they do look a little bit weird. They do look a little bit weird. The turtle designs. I really don't like the turtle designs. I think they're horrible. But for me, I found them quite enjoyable. I thought the second film where they brought Bebop and where they did, I think it was Bebop or whatever. No, those two characters. Those two are actually really well done. I prefer the TMNT films that Bay was a part of. Than the Transformers films he's done. But I recommend just checking at least the first one out, or maybe the second one, because the second one, it does have quite a lot of good stuff to it. You know, it brought Krang back. Krang, the whole thing with that, and yeah, they kind of got the characters kind of right for the second one. Bill, the first TMNT is a bit Michael incestuous, yeah, but the second one isn't bad. Yeah, the second one's actually really good. Yeah. Bill again. Stick with Batman v TMNT. Yeah, that is fantastic. That is a really good film. Bebop and Rocksteady. That's right. Yeah. Bebop and Rocksteady. Yes. I thought they were really well done. I thought they were pretty good. I liked them. So then moving on to the last, I think, is it the last film? Age of Extinction. It is, isn't it? Yeah. Age of Extinction, then let me just check. Because this. No, no. For some reason, I feel like I'm missing a film. Just give me a. Yeah, I am right. Yeah, so the next one is obviously The Last Night. And The Last Night for me is probably the worst one. Um, Transformers The Last Night is probably the worst Michael Bay Transformers film. You can tell as well because the box office revenue was not as good as compared to the others. Basically, The Last Night is just a clusterfuck. It is just a total, complete and total clusterfuck. I I love Barricade, but I love Barricade. I thought he looked really good. I just don't like. They brought all these. They gave proper Decepticon. They gave the Decepticons proper personalities for the first time. Like the team of Decepticons that Megatron recruits. Um, they had proper personalities, and then they got killed off a fraction of a minute later. The first battle, the first battle that there was in with the Autobots, they get destroyed, they get eradicated, and I'm just like, what was the point of doing that? Bringing in Decepticon characters that had actual personalities, and then you just killed them off just after coming into the film, like a fraction of a moment later. That film made no sense to me. It was backwards and forwards. The Nemesis Prime element was just terrible because that was just a fucking waste of time. The Quintessa character, my god, that was just fucking. Oh my god, I just can't stand The Last Night. Yes, I can. The kind of. My god, The Last Night is just a headache. It is just a complete headache. It had a great cast as well, but it was just all over the place. It was just such a confusing film. It made no sense to me. It was awful. I can't stand it. I hate it. It is literally the worst one out of all of them, and that's saying a lot for me. I really can't stand them. And then obviously we've got Bumblebee. Bumblebee was fucking incredible. I absolutely adore Bumblebee. I love Travis Knight as a filmmaker. I love his stop motion animated films that are through Leica Animation. If anybody in the chat that are watching or people watching right now, if you haven't heard of Leica Animation and the films that they've produced for Leica, the films Leica have produced, I urge you to check them out. Paranorman, all those films are all stop motion animated films, and I love the films that they have produced. They are so good, very genuine. Character development is incredible. The story, the writing, everything about those films is so good. And I was really excited for Travis Knight because the Bumblebee was Travis Knight's first ever live action film, and I was a little bit concerned because it was his first time directing a live action film. But yet, what he managed to accomplish with a smaller budget and the fact that it was, just a girl and going on like an adventure with a friend, later obviously must have become boyfriend, and Bumblebee, and the way that they kind of incorporated the amazing opening Cybertron sequence and then the other sequence later on, they nailed it. Travis Knight, he fucking nailed it. He nailed the feel of what Transformers was. He nailed it for me. He nailed it. I absolutely adore that film. Yes, there's some issues to it. It's not a perfect film, but I love Charlie. She's a great character. Great cast. It was just fantastic. I had such a great time watching that film. I really love Bumblebee. I felt it was a ray of sunshine in a pile of shite that we've had from Michael Bay over the years, and I've just really hope going forward with the information that I brought up in this live stream, I really hope that they kind of follow the essence of what Bumblebee was, kind of keep to that formula that worked, and don't fuck it up again. The last shite, yeah. They should just leave Mighty Morphin Power Rangers be. It wasn't big. Just continue again. It wasn't big, but the redo of Power Rangers was a mess for me compared to the original. Yeah, I actually don't mind it. There's so much wrong with the Power Rangers film that they did back in 2017, I think. There's so much wrong with that film. I don't like how they did Goldar, but part of me, I didn't actually mind it. I thought it was all right. It wasn't great, but it was all right. But there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on in regards to Power Rangers. Apparently, Hasbro have ended partnership with Toei. Toei are the people that own the rights to the Japanese series that Power Rangers based on. And so apparently Hasbro are moving forward with a new movie and a new series that is actually going to be completely original. So they're actually taking the Power Rangers brand and making the Power Rangers brand original and not based off or not like what it was before. So I'm actually kind of intrigued of where they're going to go with that. There's a lot of plans in the works for Power Rangers in the future. Kind of intrigued. Bumblebee was the light in our darkest hour. Yes, it was. It was indeed. But yeah, I absolutely adored that film. I really did. So yeah, I think that's covered everything then, I think. I think I'm going to end the stream then, I think. So thank you to everybody that joined me. Thank you to Jace, Wendy, Bill. I also got Salad Fingers. I don't know if anybody's seen those videos on YouTube, by the way. There's basically go on YouTube and search Salad Fingers, and you will see some really weird, disturbing little short animations. I frigging love them. I just love that somebody come in. It was called Salad Fingers onto my live stream, and I was just like, fantastic! That's amazing. So yeah, so thank you, Decepticon King, Decepticon Queen, Bill, also Mr. Jam Jar. Thank you very much for joining. Salad Fingers. Yeah. Wish they would make a Big Bad Beetleborgs remake. Yeah, that was a big flop. I used to watch Beetleborgs. When I was a kid, I actually quite liked Beetleborgs, but I do understand it really doesn't live up now. I've tried to watch Beetleborgs now, and my god, it is terrible. I don't know what I was thinking when I was a kid. It is terrible for now. It just doesn't stand up well at all. But no, who knows? It'd be cool. But yeah, so thank you very much, everybody. Thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you very much for joining me. Like I said earlier in the stream, once this video is no longer live, I will be putting all the links to the articles that I was covering in the description box below once this is no longer live. And so you can go ahead and read it and check them out yourself, because I don't have any streaming software or any software that will allow me to put articles up in real time. I don't have anything like that at the moment. So unfortunately, you had to deal with me just talking and reading it out to you. So in order to kind of make sure that you get the information, I'm going to put all the links in the description below. So again, thank you very much. Thanks everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Stay awesome, stay safe, and I'll be back very soon with more live streams. And also, I'm going to keep an eye out. I'm going to keep an eye out for more information, and I might do another live stream, like a follow-up live stream in time, because by the looks of things, there's going to be so much more information released. Look, obviously, we've got 3 films that have been officially released as definitely happening, so it's interesting. It's an interesting time to be a Transformers fan with these films coming out. So I'll definitely be keeping my ear to the my nose to the wire, my ear to the floor, whatever. I'll be keeping all my senses and my eyes open for anything new, and I will see you soon for another one. Thank you. Bye bye. See you soon.